Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD is the 12th installment of the Tony Hawk's video game series. After the franchise's 2 years of inactivity, the return made classic Tony Hawk gamers back to its roots. The previous 2 entries did not allow a standard 4 to 8 button game controller, which brought the dismay to many Tony Hawk gamers, which most of them moved to the Guitar Hero series at that time. Today, I'll be talking about the gameplay mechanics and how this version compares to the first 4 games of the series. First off, the frame rate. The game runs a bit rougher than the old games, making technical combos tougher to do. The older games had the freedom to do very quick grind transfer combos, while this edition makes them slower or longer. Manuals are very hard to control with this frame rate because you can likely end a line or bail if the player is not good with balancing. Also, controlling balances have a tiny bit of lag unlike the previous series. PS3 and 4 makes balancing easier by putting the balance meter back to normal after each revert, which the upcoming DLC might have. The frame rate drops harshly on some occasions. One is when the player breaks too much glass. This gimmick could ruin your combo and make it less accurate, but in the PlayStation 2 port of THPS3, the frame rate is still maintained, even when the glass breaks. There's a level in THPS3 that does not appear in THPS HD, known as Skater Island, and the game's frame rate is given a huge drop if the player goes inside or outside the skate park. I was able to do an easy grind or skating manual when doing so, but if complex combos are done, a fail would likely occur. I don't think Robomoto would fix this issue on the upcoming DLC pack of THPS3 features. Next goes the control scheme. The game tries to be more serious without the crummy focus, sticker slap, combo runout, spray tag, item throw, and the freakout systems found on later Tony Hawk games. Without the DLC, the game forces a THPS2 system, but with the inclusion of THPS4 styled lip tricks and fake reverts. Each time the user commands a lip trick, he or she cannot cancel it to a different lip trick. These kinds of whips are much better than THPS 1s or 3s, in which a bail occurs if the user held the grind button too long. Wall riding can be very tough in this edition of Pro Skater. The older game's wall ride window is easier, since the player does not have to aim directly at the wall at a certain angle. When performing long combos involving wallies in this game, it is very likely that the combo line would end if the user does not input the manual beforehand. The safe fall feature has been removed. No other buttons can recover the skater from falling to the ground but for a grind trick. In THPS 1 to 4, holding down on the control pad upon landing to the floor saves the player's life from a bail. THPS 4 has a shortcut by pressing the switch button during a vert trick, which can also be used for a spine transfer, which is again absent in THPS HD. Since the player has no nearby rail or quarter pipe, the user will have to just bash out the buttons rapidly until the white flash appears. Be careful what special tricks are assigned to. The manual combos would relatively be messed up if the Officer Deck player is chosen and the user presses up more than it should be. For instance, many of the special tricks are different. The 900 is much better on THPS HD than how it was in the older games. Back then, the 900 would likely give you a bail if the ollie is not high and or fast enough. This was toned down and improved for HD when finishing a long combo while having an unsteady manual for rail balance. One Foot Japan and Christ Air, for instance, tips down the skater heavily and the landing determines the direction the head faces, not the board. This will start to confuse the old players when they try those special tricks out. Last but not least, the netcode of the game. Unlike many fighting games, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD offers a lag-free gaming experience like gamers would expect on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. The frame rate is still steady as long as the users have a strong, excellent internet connection. This game has no ranking matches, as if users cannot level up as they play the game. That's all the game has to offer. All statistics are not shown or saved, except for single session, Hawkman, and Big Head Survivor scores and times, which the user tries to beat the other's records. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD is not a bad game at all, though gamers are warned for limited skate features for a more recent edition of Tony Hawk. There is no local multiplayer, so grab a copy of the old games for Dreamcast or Xbox if someone has no internet access to his or her PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360. If gamers want to practice their lines and try to get better at the game, the free skate mode is always there, even for the network modes. Cheat codes still exist for this game, but autosave and achievements are disabled upon turning them on, so please do not play like a scrub and turn them off.